Okay, so this is a FOIL problem. I'm going to multiply 7 times 2 and 7 times 3i, negative 6i times 2, negative 6i times negative 3i. So I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to let you guys practice, and then when I come back on, I'll have it done. Okay, so 7 times 2 was 14. 7 times negative 3i was negative 21i. Negative 6i times 2 is negative 12i. Negative 6i times negative 3i is positive 18i squared. You can combine these two together. And negative 21i and negative 12i is negative 33i plus 18, and I squared would be negative 1. So now what we can do is we can combine the 14 and the 18 times negative 1. So I'm just going to rewrite it really quick. Because 18 times negative 1 is negative 18. So 14 minus 18 would be negative 4. And you're always going to put the negative 4 first because you always put the real first minus the imaginary. And so that is how you FOIL. So there's the whole problem again. Okay, so we have another problem. I left this one up, so now I've got the square root of negative 64. There's two ways you can do this. You either know that 64 is a perfect square, or you can do a tree. It doesn't really matter, but just remember that when you do it, I got 8 times 8. You guys, if you know, hey, 8 times 8 is a pair, you can go ahead and take care of it. That's fine. I know that some people in my first period, they did the tree, so I'm just going to work on the tree. The tree, if you're like, well, Miss Fleury, I already know that it's a perfect square, that's fine. Now, I can wear this pair of twos. I can wear this pair of twos. I can wear this pair of twos. Now there's just, and now everything that's been circled has been crossed out. The only thing that's left is that negative, and remember I told you that that would be the square root of negative 1. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And what is the square root of negative 1? It is I, and that's your final answer right there. Okay, guys, let's see if we can do this one. So yesterday I started a little bit on this. I know I finished the notes, but if you didn't go back last night, this one is on the videos from yesterday. This is just a practice problem. I'm going to pause it to give you guys time, but I want to see, can you guys figure out how to do this? And remember, when you do this, you can't have a complex number or an imaginary number in the denominator. So we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by the conjugate. And the conjugate is just changing the operation. So instead of 4 plus 2i, I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom, the numerator and the denominator, by 4 minus 2i. Now what I want you guys to do is see if you can do it on your own before you watch the video. Okay, so you should have done negative 3i times 4 and got negative 12i. And then negative 3i times negative 2i and got positive 6i squared over. Now we're going to FOIL. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times negative 2i is negative 8i. 2i times 4 is positive 8i. And then positive 2i times negative 2i is negative 4i squared. Okay, negative 12i stays, plus 6 times negative 1, because I squared is negative 1. 100% of the time, these two are going to cancel out. Always, if you've done it correctly, these two middle terms should cancel out. And then you're left with 16 minus 4 times negative 1. Then what you're going to do is negative 12i minus 6. And this becomes 16 plus 4, which is 20. And yes, I forgot the I, can't forget that. Now, when you do this problem, you need to switch it, and then you're going to need to reduce it. So it would become negative 6 over 20, because that's your real part, minus 12i over 20. And the only reason you have to separate it is because they might come out to different numbers. So like this one, you can divide by 2, and you would get negative 3 over 10, because negative 6 divided by 2 is 3, 20 divided by 2 is 10, minus, well, 4 goes into both of those, so 12i divided by 4 is 3i, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. And remember, your real part always goes in front of your imaginary part. And this is what we call a complex number, because it has a real number and an imaginary number. I hope that helps.